Hey fellow foodies, it's Faye from facefood.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make these apple crumb muffins. Okay, so to start we have some unsalted butter. It has been softened to room temperature, and I'm just going to take my rubber spatula and begin to kind of mash it down and just soften up the butter a little bit more just by mashing it down a little bit. And this recipe will be completely by hand. I want you to see that you can do this by hand. You can of course just use your mixer as well, but this is a very easy recipe to do by hand as well. So that's what I'm doing here. And to the butter I'm going to add some light brown sugar and give this a mix, and we're going to cream these two ingredients together for about 5 minutes until it's light and fluffy. And you can see it becomes nice and smooth, lighter in color. It kind of looks like peanut butter at the end, which is what we're looking for. That's how you know the sugar has really dissolved into the butter quite nicely. Okay, so the next step is I'm going to add in some vanilla extract. And I'm going to add in the eggs all at once. And then I'm also going to add in the sour cream. Now just make sure that the eggs and the sour cream are also at room temperature. It's very important when you bake to have your dairy products or anything that comes out of the fridge, make sure that it is at room temperature. That way that they can the reason why it's important is because you want them all to blend well together, and it won't do so if they're all at different temperatures. So that's why we do that. So you just want to give this a mix until it's a uniform mixture. It will be very liquidy because it's been nothing but liquid so far, but it should be nice and smooth. Alright, so now I'm going to add in the lemon zest. I really love the addition of lemon to this recipe. One, for flavor, lemon goes really well with apple, but also it will help prevent the apples from browning, so that's why I add it, kind of a double reason. So I'm just going to mix this all in. I added both the zest and the juice of a lemon. Okay, and now I can go ahead and add in the apples. If you can see I diced them up really small, almost like a mince. If you need a bit of time in terms of prep, make sure to place the apples in some lemon juice, apple juice, or pineapple juice. I kind of do a lemon juice water solution. You don't have to put it in just straight up lemon juice because that will prevent the apples from browning while you're working on other things. Anyway, so we added the apples all at once, and you can see the mixture is very liquidy. We've added nothing but wet ingredients so far, so it looks like it's broken. You don't want to overmix at this point. It's all our wet ingredients, so just mix until everything's combined. And now we're going to add in the dry ingredients all at once. And we're going to fold the dry ingredients in until just combined as well. You really don't want to overmix. These muffins are nice and light and moist, so you really, to keep that texture and to keep that lightness, you want to make sure not to overmix, because then we're going to get bread muffins instead of just regular muffins. Alright, so that's our mixture. I'm going to cover this with some plastic wrap, and then we're going to place it in the fridge overnight. We do this for two reasons. It helps the batter kind of relax, and it also helps the flavor develop a lot more. Okay, so the next day we're going to go ahead and work on our streusel topping. I have all my ingredients in one bowl, admittedly a very small bowl for this job, so don't do what I do here, but I find the easiest way to do this is just with your hands, so you can just use your clean hands or just wear gloves for ease, and just kind of crunch it up in your hands until everything's combined and it kind of looks like a wet sand mixture. And that's your streusel topping ready to go. Alright, so I have my prepared cupcake pan. You can also use the jumbo muffin pans. That should get you about 6 of them. But I'm going to go ahead and use a medium-sized ice cream scoop or cookie scoop, whatever you want to call it. And I'm just going to scoop the batter into my prepared cupcake liners. I did spray them with some grease as well, just to prevent them from sticking. And for me, it took about 2 scoops, maybe 1.5 scoops for each liner to be filled up. Alright, so now I'm going to give it a light tap just to kind of flatten the muffins, but also to let out any excess air. And now I'm going to just sprinkle our streusel topping over the top of our muffins. And this is just going to add some texture, but also some more great flavor on there. And we're going to put this in our prepared oven. We preheated it to 350. We will bake this off at 325 for about 20 to 25 minutes. For me, it took about 22 minutes, but all ovens are different, so keep that in mind. Out of the oven, I do let them cool in the pan for about 5 minutes, no longer than that. And then I move them to a wire rack to cool a little bit more. These are best served warm, so we don't want to cool them off too much. But we're just going to cool them off for a few more minutes. And while they cool off, what we can do is, well, I'm going to do this next step. You don't have to. But I have a great salted caramel recipe on my blog and on the channel. The tutorial's on there. And if you want to add some salted caramel drizzle, like I'm doing here, it goes great with these muffins. So I'm just going to drizzle on some salted caramel over the top. And these are great for breakfast, for brunch, as a great snack. They're very light, moist, great fall flavor. You get the cinnamon, the nutmeg, apples, the molassesy brown sugar flavor. It's just fall in one bite. It's a very, very easy recipe, as you saw, and it's a very delicious recipe. So for the full recipe, go to facefood.com. I hope you guys like this recipe and like this video. If you like it, comment below if you have any comments or questions. I love hearing from you guys. And make sure to subscribe to this channel for more great videos on the way. I do want you to see just how nice and fluffy these muffins are. You can see the top is kind of gooey and the inside is nice and fluffy. So give this a try. I know you guys will love it. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day.
You're down for. I wanna figure out to make it come around. But we should quit the game and settle things right here, right now. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about all the things you do. I wanna take you from it.